This episode of Sewing Out Loud is brought to you by our SewHere.com members. This podcast and our community is mostly funded by the support of listeners like you. If you love the podcast, check out SewHere.com/membership to see how you can keep it in your ears for years to come and get fun stuff to boot.
Welcome to Sewing Out Loud, the official podcast of ZD Sewing Studio. Here are your hosts, ZD and Mallory.
Sewing Out Loud. Hello and welcome to the podcast. I'm Mallory Donahue.
And I'm ZD Donahue.
And this is the second podcast in our series on Home Dec, right?
Right.
So we did a little intro. ZD gave some general things.
That would have been episode 1 or 1 in the
Zero.
series.
No.
Yeah. But anyway, we talked about, we just gave just a little outline kind of.
Sure.
Little pointers. And now we're going to get more specific.
So we're going to talk about fabric, and I thought fabric could be paired with something else, but it seems like, as we think about it,
Fabric's a big category.
it's its own thing, right?
Right.
So
it has its own section in your fabric store.
that's right.
Or if you can search it online. You can search Home Dec fabric or fabric for the home or whatever.
Yeah, on a fabric, website,
Right.
if they do carry Home Dec, there's going to be a Home Dec section.
Right.
And I'm thinking about like LA Finch fabrics. They carry mostly garment. So then they get really granular in the garment.
Right.
Okay. They'll be like fashion wovens and, double brush poly, da-da-da-da-da. And then in the Home Dec section, which like LA Finch doesn't have, but in the Home Dec section
Right.
on another website, you really get a really wide range of fabrics there
Yes.
too, right?
Yes.
So like Home Dec cannot,
Home Dec is just like garment. There's all these
There's
different
all-
fabrics for all these different reasons.
yeah, right. Like there's wool for making a coat, and
That's
there's
right.
there's like spandex for making a swimsuit, and those are both garment fabrics,
That's
right?
right.
So
And one's very much not like the other.
that's right. So it's same deal in Home Dec. There are different weights. There are different fibers. There are different fabrics. There are different fibers making different types of fabrics. There's like, silk velvet
Right.
and poly velvet and, da-da-da-da-da. And then there's, silk shantung and there's silk, whatever. So boucle, there are different things. But in general, a fabric in the Home Dec, a lot of times in the Home Dec section, it'll be like named with its purpose. Don't you think a lot of times?
Yeah.
In over in Home Dec land, it can be like upholstery.
Well, that's true. It will say upholstery. Sometimes
maybe
it says drapery.
There you go.
Right.
Not always.
And sometimes the difference in those might not even be the fabric content. It might be the way that they are patterned out. Like the way that the design runs.
There you go. The visual aspect of Home Dec is big, right?
Yes.
So you're talking about the way the fabric runs. So a drapery fabric probably isn't going to have like horizontal stripes.
Right.
Going from selvage to selvage.
And more commonly, what you are going to see is the pattern is repeated vertically.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so that you can take selvage to selvage and match them up to gain width.
To get it, to literally make a larger piece of fabric.
Right.
Yeah.
On upholstery fabric, you may see things running horizontally. Okay. So they would be sideways running vertically. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think it makes sense.
Right. So so in other words, they're taking advantage of the width of the fabric in a different way.
Yeah.
So when you run a fabric, not from selvage to selvage, but from cut in to cut in,
Yeah.
that is referred to as railroading. Okay, so that means it could go on forever and ever and ever and ever.
Yep.
Right.
As long as your bolt is
As long
right?
as that bolt is, right. So oftentimes that fabric, the design is set so that you use it in that horizontal position of the selvages at north and south.
They're expecting
Right.
you to use a really long
Right.
length
I
of
keep
it.
thinking of a couch.
Yeah.
But
Think of a couch.
right. But so if I ran that fabric on a drapery, my, whatever, my fleur-de-lis would be on their side.
Yes.
Okay, so you need to think about that. Now, not to say I haven't railroaded fabric that wasn't supposed to be railroaded.
There you go.
It's happened. Okay.
And railroading, because the selvages are supposed to be like the tracks. Okay.
Right. But there has been an instance where I really liked a fabric, or I had a piece of fabric left over, and I decided that it would work on its side because, maybe the fleur-de-lis weren't upside down or sideways or whatever. Maybe it was floral and it wasn't that noticeable if I railroaded it. Right?
Yeah, but good the home deck, you can get so subtle on these fabrics.
Right.
I think it is good to think about scale.
And scale. And then
orientation,
and then sort of the other thing is along with the orientation, which is what it is directional. So if all the flower stems go one way, the flowers are supposed to be, with the flower
growing
on the top
up.
And growing up. And a lot of florals are not like that, right? They make them so that they can be oriented. So it's like wallpaper.
Yeah,
you need to pay attention. What's the repeat? What is it directional? I remember, I was teaching a kids class one time, and I told them to bring in whatever it was, like a yard of fabric for boxer shorts or whatever. This little kid brought in all this fabric with little Mustangs all over them, and there wasn't enough room to make the Mustang. So we had one side Mustangs were up and one side,
the Mustangs were down.
One side they were on, on their roof, what I mean? And then they were on the So, you do need to, pattern placement, of course, is essential. And if there is a repeat, say you're on a couch and a couch cushion, the back of the couch and the cushions are supposed to
look
continuous and continuously. So you're going to have some waste oftentimes.
And just another, in case this wasn't clear,
right?
Home deck, I think, will include a wider range of scales. You could have a motif that is like a foot across.
Exactly.
Whereas,
because the foot wouldn't fit on just everybody's body.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
Most garment pieces.
You don't want just one Mustang going across your chest, right?
But most garment fabric, if you think of a garment paisley,
right,
be a little smaller,
right,
maybe some of your home deck paisleys. That's where you can start to look like a couch killer. There we go. So when you are, when you're in that home deck section, you might find yourself saying, "Oh, I would use this for a bag. I would use this even for a garment." And that's not wrong.
It's not wrong.
It's just that stuff's over there. And, I'm thinking about, I'm just going to get into a certain type of fabric here. Some of the sheer fabrics that live over in home deck land that don't live over in...
And there's silks.
Yeah, and garment land.
Mm-hmm.
And how we've used, sometimes home deck, you can find yourself a really wide organza.
Well, and that's
really
the other thing about home deck. You'll never see anything probably smaller than 54 inches wide.
There we go. Yeah.
You're going to get wide stuff.
Which can be nice.
Yes.
Okay, obviously for home deck, but also for other applications.
It can.
For crafting applications or decorative applications.
Right.
Like those weird things we made for the ceiling in Parkade. Do you remember that? Okay, I guess that's home deck.
There were swags. I call them swags or bunting or something. I mean, people refer to them different things.
They were up on what was that? Like a 40-foot
I'd
ceiling?
say probably at least 30 minimum.
Right? Okay. I'm
minimum.
not good.
They might have been 40. Yeah.
So that was a really wide piece of fabric.
But they came up and then they dipped down. They swagged down and they went down. Basically this big huge convention hall.
Right.
Basically.
Right. So you're gonna find wide fabrics there. You're gonna find all different types of weights.
Right.
And you will find these different scales of, fabrics, but that's why there is a home deck section, right?
And the other thing you're going to do is find fabrics that have finishes on them.
Uh-huh.
So a guard, like a Scotch guard is a brand name, but that's, guarding against spills or stains or whatever.
What's that brand? Sunbrella,
Sunbrella is it's
UV resistant,
UV resistant or weather resistant. Some of it can be like an oilcloth and be rubberized.
There you go.
Now, all of these things take special care too, but you might want to wind up making your raincoat. Out of
Yeah,
something.
exactly.
But the other thing about special care is know that if you wash something that is Scotch guarded, then the Scotch Guard can go away or be less effective. All those things. And there usually are directions on the end of the bulb that address this.
Yes. So when you do get your, your fabric, those care instructions, I think they're super important.
Yes.
Home Dec experiences a different type of wear than garments,
and what's
right?
nice now, not only, you could look them up on the internet, but what's nice now is you can take a picture of the end of the bolt. Everybody's got a phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you can spill things on your clothing.
Right.
Okay. But furniture and stuff like that,
it's harder to clean.
It's harder to clean, and it gets a different type of wear.
Yes, it does.
Your kid might sit on your lap, but they probably don't like my kids. The way they jump on my couch right now.
Kids do puke on furniture.
Kids puke on furniture just like they
puke
on your clothes. Well,
let's put it this way. Depending on your lifestyle and what phase of your life you're in, stuff can happen to your furniture. Somebody just said on TV today, I was so upset because I went to my friend's house and they had this white couch and their kid laid like a pen or pencil or something down on this white couch and then she sat on it.
Oh.
And it got all over the couch and she goes, I don't know whether I should pay for it or not. And I'm like, I got a kid in a white couch. Well, I don't know.
Sorry, friend.
I'm not sure it's anybody's responsibility except the person that made that decision,
Right, no.
Yeah. And it wasn't even her kid who left it there,
Our couch is so sad right now. Our couch is so sad. And we were like, we're going to wait until the kids are older to get a new one. I think we have to get a new one before that because it is so sad.
But I've also remembered looking at a couch and going, man, that thing it got really worn out fast. And then I was like, oh, no, it's 21 years old. So anyway.
There you go.
Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah.
Anyway, but your fabrics, it's like, I feel like Home Dec a lot of times will feel really durable.
Right.
But then you're not supposed to just put it in the washing machine all the time, people.
No.
Okay, so it's durable in one way and then not so washable. Does that make sense, Mom? Does
right.
that,
yeah, it does.
I think when I was first learning
a
about
lot of stuff will say spot clean with, warm water only or, whatever,
when
soapy water.
When I was first learning about Home Dec
and
fabrics.
soap versus detergent is another issue, too.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, when I was first learning about Home Dec fabrics, I thought that I should be able to throw all the stuff in the washer.
Well, actually, on the camper, that's what I did.
There you go. So
I threw everything in the washer. I made it so I could unzip these and throw it because it's a camper.
Well, and that's what I need
wanted
to do.
That kind of durability. Now, I won't wash the stuff on extra heavy duty hot. But I wanted it to be washable.
Right.
Okay, I might not put it in the dryer,
Mm-hmm.
but I wanted it to be washable because it's in the camper. And I don't want to just have to change it because it's dirty.
Before we take a break, I want to talk a little bit about faux leather and leather.
Okay, how about Naugahyde?
Naugahyde. So over in the Home Dec section, this is kind of where people, when they ask, how do I sew on leather? And we say, what kind of leather?
Leather
what
or
kind,
vinyl
yeah,
or
what
whatever.
kind of vinyl? What kind of this?
Can I pin my leather together? Well, you can.
What kind of ultra suede,
Yeah.
right? Because you will, this is, I think, especially where you find, there's garment weight leather, and there's Home Dec weight leather, and there's garment.
And there's that special effects sort of stuff.
There you go. And there's garment weight ultra suede and Home Dec ultra suede. And sometimes I think what can maybe set apart the Home Dec is that there will be a backing fused to it, to make it.
And that's to stabilize it.
That's right.
And that's very important, almost always important in Home Dec. I can bring up an instance where now, I don't know if anybody's been to a wedding lately or some sort of, ballroom event or something, and they're now using Lycra over.
Yeah.
They make these Lycra tablecloths that they, pull over these, pedestal tables to give them this different look, and I just think it's a riot that, they've got swimsuit fabric.
No, I
remember,
it
looks great.
No, I remember the first time, I think maybe we were together This is
I
a
think
few
it
years
might
ago.
have been a Baby Lock.
Yeah, we're like, oh my God, duh.
Yeah.
Like, why not? You
Right.
know, why even
And
mess
it was
around?
a really clever look.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and of course it's less waste
That's
of,
right.
of fabric
Yeah.
than doing like a circular tablecloth, you know, and they fit easily because they're stretchy. But yeah, you're going to find over in the home deck section, you are going to find some fabrics that I think sometimes people think would look good for a garment, but they're real thick, or they have
Or
heavy
they're
heavy
rigid. Now,
backing,
when
real
you're
rigid.
doing cosplay,
Yeah.
that's great.
Home
you
deck
know, go
section's great
home
for
deck
that.
is it's like a playground. You know, you can wind up making armor and
Yeah.
vest and shoes and
Shields and
shields
stuff.
and whatever.
So you'll find these stiffer fabrics with this backing on them,
Right.
okay, so if you're at an estate sale or you have inherited some fabric and you see that fabric with those heavy backings on them, you can think to yourself, oh, this was supposed to be a home deck fabric, so maybe that would be helpful too. Okay, we'll take a quick break and come back. Hello there, you fabulous sewing machine. Did you know that our podcasts and Facebook group are mostly funded by our fabulous members? We have corporate sponsors, but our individual members are the people who ensure that we can keep producing our quirky, inclusive, sometimes slightly offbeat sewing media.
You can support the sewing media you love starting at $1.50 per month. As you go up the scale, you get perks like a universal wardrobe planner, the So Long and So Happy zine, access to patterns and discounted classes, and even a monthly live broadcast from Mallory and me.
We are so thankful for our past, present, and future members. Any level of membership is helpful toward producing our podcasts, videos, and the time it takes to moderate our growing Facebook community. Go to sewhere.com/membership to check it out. Sewing out loud. All right, we're back. Where should we take the fabric conversation now?
I think one thing we may have skipped a little bit when we're talking about fabric is you said, you'll go over there and you'll find, but like garment and like quilting, you will find collections.
Mm-hmm.
So you may find Waverly is a, that's a company
Real
that makes a
common
lot of
home
home deck types of, so you may find something that is a large scale, small scale, a floral, a stripe and a plaid,
There you
that
go.
all go together because they're complementary in color or whatever,
And maybe you use the big stuff on your
Right,
drapes and the
right,
smaller
right.
stuff on your pillows.
or
and,
on your welting. Does everybody know what welting is?
What's welting, Mom?
So welting is that cord that's covered with fabric and put in a seam, and that is welting.
Why isn't it called piping?
It is piping
It's
because
just-
it's
it's
just, I
another
don't know.
word
I
for
think it's
piping.
because it's
Okay,
just on,
just making
yeah.
sure.
I think it's because it's on guard, and it's
Oh my
usually
God.
larger.
Do we
right?
have that written down to include in an episode?
Well, we're going to talk about terms. Yeah, we're going to get some terms in here
but I just
too.
think about piping and fringe and stuff. Okay.
Right.
Maybe we could talk about that a little bit here.
Yeah.
I did want to bring up linings
Uh-huh.
that you'll find in home
Right.
deck. There will be lining fabrics
Right.
that would generally be used for draperies.
Right.
Like what you line in the home deck world is drapes. You don't
Right.
necessarily need to line a pillow, okay? Because you technically should choose home deck. However, want to bring up, sometimes people want to use very non-home deck fabrics for home deck projects.
Right.
Like a quilting cotton,
Mm-hmm.
which for some home deck projects could be okay.
Yeah.
All right. But maybe you want to back that with
Absolutely.
something heavier.
Absolutely.
Depending, for support, for wear. But it is kind of interesting when you go into the home deck area, how you will find fabrics. They're just woven sometimes tighter for more stability, for
Right.
more body. Like your drapery fabrics over in that area, even if they're 100% cotton, they're going
It's
to
a
look
bit-
better as drapes than quilting cotton would look as
Quilting
drapes.
cotton is not going to drape correctly
That's
for
right.
a drape.
Yeah.
Right.
I
Now,
mean, I'm not saying it's
Well,
not going to work. but
drape versus curtain. Let's
There
talk
you go.
about.
Okay.
So this is kind of a term thing because a drape is usually a heavier fabric, almost always lined. Usually has a heavy hem at the bottom. Usually the hem is fold it up twice to give it weight. There may even be weights put in it to make it drape.
Drapery weights for
Okay.
your drapes.
Right. But the thing is that, for a kid's room or a baby's room or a kitchen or a light, window treatment, quilting cotton's going to be fine, or any cotton. It depends on what you like. Now, the thing about most quilting cottons is they're fairly fine, they're fairly light, and light will go through them.
Sure.
So you need to think, all those things are taken
don't
into
provide
consideration.
that.
But, I can't tell you how many times I've made like gingham curtains
Sure.
for a kitchen or a kid's room or in fact, even use sheeting, right? Use sheets.
I will say that if you're in a place that doesn't have a good selection of garment fabrics, especially if you're going to costume, go in that home deck area.
Right.
I think they've got fabrics that just have a little more body.
Yes.
So if you are at a Joann's that doesn't have a good garment selection, they've got like quilting cotton, and of course they're going to have fleece, and then they're going to have a home deck section. Go look at the home deck section.
Right.
Okay, just do explore that.
Yeah, there's always fleece.
There's always fleece.
I wonder if anybody's make fleece curtains.
You make
Anyway.
fleece curtains.
But like I said, there is a difference between a drape and a curtain. To me.
Very
and,
true.
that might be subtle, but there is a difference.
Okay, I'm wondering, Mom, answer me if this is a good idea. Should we move on to what else you'd find in that section of the fabric store? Is that maybe what we should do? What a good idea. So we come up with our best ideas of our podcasting. Okay, would you find some big old welting or cording?
You'd find some big old cords that you could wrap fabric around, right? And make that welting trim to go in your seam. And usually that seam is on the corner of a cushion.
Okay, we've got to, for an image, we've got to find the smallest cording we have in this studio,
Okay. Well, we
and
can.
the biggest.
The
No,
biggest?
don't do it right now.
I know where it all is.
Don't do it right now.
I know
but
where it all is.
We're gonna have like some itty bitty, like 2mm piping, and then we're gonna have like some big, like I don't know, bigger than my hand. I swear, of what I mean is that called cording or piping that then you would cover with fabric to make your own welting or cording or piping, right?
I really don't. I'm going to try and look.
You
it
trying
up
to
here.
look up what it's
I'm
called?
trying to. I just got a book out.
I thought welting.
Welting is covered by fabric. Just
Okay.
like I don't know why it would be any difference.
Okay.
Like I make it. Welting, also called cording or piping.
Well, all right.
Okay, fabric wrapped cord used to define or finish seams, to give seams added strength, and to add a decorative touch.
I do feel like I hear the word welting more in home deck.
Yeah,
than
I've
in-
always used that.
I mean,
welting.
versus a welt pocket, of course,
Okay,
in the
yeah.
garment area.
Yeah,
Okay,
right.
so this is interesting.
Yeah.
So you're gonna find that kind of cording, or you're gonna find pre-made, like piping.
Yeah, you can buy
Over
it
there?
packaged. Yeah, you can buy it packaged.
And you're gonna find those like braided cord.
You can find that kind of
things.
cording. Now, the other thing you have to think about there is, does it have a flange on it to be added to a seam, or is it just cording and you're going to have to hand sew it on or figure out how to sew it on?
And then the most expensive, fun thing to look at, I feel, are the decorative fringes that have like beads.
What about
on them.
beaded fringe?
Okay, so there's fringe and there's
Right.
beaded fringe.
Right. Now, the other thing that you're going to find over there are some practical things too. Like you will find home deck weight zippers.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Mhm.
So, and they'll be nylon and they'll be metal. Okay. Of course, I'm kind of a nylon fan because I can bend it around something and I can cut it off.
Man,
and,
it's nice to
you know,
work with a
and,
nylon zipper.
I mean, I certainly have put in metal zippers in my day, but that's when they didn't make nylon zippers heavy duty.
Okay, I've
Right.
also been kind of researching. I want to like make a purse that's a backpack and
Right.
and thinking about even a normal purse being close to your body and close to your clothes. I'm like, I don't want a metal zipper. An exposed metal
Right.
zipper on like the back of a purse,
Right.
that you might hold
Yep.
close to your body
Yep.
because I don't want to wear on my clothes.
Sure.
So I've been thinking about those and how I do
I mean,
really
you
like
can
to work
cut
with
off a
them.
metal zipper. It's
Oh,
just
yeah.
not as easy.
No. So you'll find those zippers.
But they also are more pliable.
Okay,
You know, the nylon's more pliable.
The home deck zippers can be pretty long too, right?
Yes, and you can buy them on the roll also,
Okay.
so they can be continuous. But you can buy a 30-inch, 70-inch. I don't know their increments, but
Okay.
you can buy a 6-foot
Never
zipper.
doubt that you need a long freaking zipper
Right.
for home deck, okay? I made a cover once for our couch cushions. And I think I've described this on the podcast before. But basically, it was a big rectangular bag that
Right.
3 couch cushions go into
Right.
all the way across. And so I was like, oh, I only have to make this as big as one cushion because I'll put one cushion in and scoot it over. Put the other cushion in, scoot it over to the other side, and then put center cushion
Wasn't
in.
that fun?
It was so fun. But that thing lasted actually a long time.
Oh, it did.
Okay, but I thought, oh my God, if I had made, that would have been at least
you
a
would've got your
72-inch zipper.
6-foot zipper.
Yes,
Yes.
or longer. Okay.
Right. Now, the other thing that I have
Or 2.
done, right,
Uh-huh.
is I have taken 2 18 or 22-inch zippers, right, and had them meet in
But,
the middle.
That's what
Yes.
would have made it easier.
I have done that. So, you can get a 22-inch zipper and you can get a 40-inch zipper out of it.
Yes.
Now, I have also put garment type zippers in home deck, especially the invisible zipper.
zippers.
So not all pillows, like if it's a throw pillow and you want to be able to take, the cover on and off, you don't need like a heavy duty zipper. Usually the heavy duty zippers are going in something like a couch cushion.
Right.
It's going in a cushion, not a pillow.
Uh-huh.
Right.
Okay, Sam and I did a video, I don't know if it ever got published, it's a long time ago, where we put the invisible zipper in a pillow with piping.
Right.
And man, it's not that
You
hard.
don't even see it. It's just
Okay.
like on a garment. You just see the little
No,
thing
you
hanging.
feel
maybe.
like a freaking wizard
Yeah.
after you do it.
Mhm.
Okay, you're like, I am a genius. And we just did the invisible zipper broadcast
Right.
for Zigzag members, so go watch that. But yeah, you feel like a genius, and I'm just saying it's
Yeah.
totally worth
Now, I have also used things like a parka type or jacket type zipper
it.
in my home deck, especially if color maybe was important. Now, home deck comes in like black, brown, tan, beige, that,
Right.
Okay, and again, you can dye those suckers, okay? Get
Uh-huh.
your white one or your off-white one and dye it. Some of them aren't going to show. They're only in the back
Yeah.
of the cushion or
Yeah.
the bottom of the cushion or whatever. But I have used, like I said, like a jacket. And if it's separating, how to make it non-separating. You just sew over it.
Just so over it.
Right. So I have used that type of zipper.
Okay, you're also going to find over there, and we're going to talk a little more about
Mhm.
these later, but like grommets,
Grommets,
maybe special buttons,
rings,
rings.
bigger snaps, maybe.
Yeah, maybe big snaps.
You're going to find hooks and pleating tape for the top of draperies.
You may even find that like drawstrings.
You find
fusible
cording type, all kinds
stuff.
of cording things.
Okay, so
all
we were-
kinds of cording
We
type
were saying
things.
cording
Yeah.
where you could make your own piping.
Right.
And then I was saying that braided stuff, and Mom was like, oh, it's got to have a flange on it
Right.
for you to insert it. And then you're going to find cording that you could use to like tie back drapes.
Right. Or like make a Roman shade with.
Yes. You'll find a Roman shade kit back
Yes,
there.
they have lots of shade kits.
Shade kits.
Or actually, a lot of times you find curtain rods in there too.
Curtain rods. Okay,
Mhm.
tassels.
Tassels.
Tassels, you'll find tassels
You
made
will
of cord.
You will find upholstery tacks, which are, little tacks or nails that have a decorative head on them.
Okay, yeah. For
Right.
like, think of around a
Right.
chair.
Right, when you're, pulling something down to
Soutache.
soutache.
Right.
So you'll find trim specific
Trims for home deck.
to home deck. Now, have I used home deck trims in garment making? Yes, I have.
That's what I wanted to
Have
say.
I
Yeah.
used garment making trims in home deck? Yes, I have. Just think about the application. Think about the durability that you may or may not need.
Right. And so
Have I put sequins on pillows? Oh my gosh, have I put sequins on pillows?
Yes. Yes. So you will find if you especially I know I keep saying this, we keep saying this. For costuming, get yourself over in that home dec department.
Right.
Stuff like these trims
Explore
and these
all that
cords
stuff.
and all
Right.
that jazz. You're going to find some cool stuff over there. So you're going to find, we talked about like, I'm going to go back to fabric here. We talked about kind of those bonded fabrics or those hides even. Okay, I don't know if a Joann's actually sells like leather hides. All right.
Leather hides are pretty hard to find because they're expensive.
Well, they're online a lot now.
yeah, that's what I would say. You have
Yeah.
to go online.
They're well, you
And
know.
hides are difficult to work with. They don't come in yards. They come in shapes.
They come
the
in a
shape
hide,
of the animal.
the
Right. So it's it's a skin.
Yes, so there'll be leather hides, there'll be those
Right.
bonded fabrics that are like vinyl and stuff.
Right.
And then what I kind of think of, back in the days of going to the Hobby Lobby home dec section would be those big like pyramids of that chenille fabric. Like the chenille it's like low pile. It's
A
like what
pyramid.
those like
Oh, 'cause they
the-
stick 'em together.
They
Yeah,
put them
the way they
all
hit-
on their own
yeah, I know
sale
what you're
and
talking
stuff. So you'll find those like fuzzy fabrics, those
Mm-hmm.
damasks, the matelassé kind of thing where
Yeah.
it's like textured, stuff like that where you're gonna find that heavier
Right.
stuff where you think, oh yeah, this is a comforter.
Right.
Oh, this is a
Oh, this
a
is
duvet.
this is a Rin
This is a red
corset.
there. Yeah. But, this
Whatever
is
that-
not a quilting cotton. Okay. Or this is a duck cloth with a decorative
Right.
print on it.
Right.
You're going to start to feel the differences.
Right.
And like in my
I know
yeah, go ahead.
something I recently made that was semi home deck is I made that thing for that lawn chair, that screen base.
Oh, you'll
that
find
netting base.
You'll find screen and pet
like
screen
pet
and
screen,
stuff.
and so I made this sort of pet screen thing, and I grommeted it, and then I roped it. I tied it together like a corset to fix this.
Mom laced up the chair.
I did.
Tight laced the
I
chair.
corseted the chair, and it worked.
Oh well, you'll find like twill tape over there.
Twill tape, lots
Twill
of
tape.
all different sizes.
Yeah.
Yep.
All kinds, but you'll start to feel those things and you'll know, oh, this is like a home deck weight.
Mhm.
And that's just been useful for me in my life, like describing things, to you or knowing I'm going to find something that feels like this in the home deck section, no matter what my end goal is.
Right. So
Right?
yes, and so when you're looking for zippers, so maybe I'm looking for a zipper for a costume, but it has to be real durable because it's a quick change or something, and I need it to be extra long for some reason or whatever. I go over to the zipper section and the garments and I'm like, well, there's nothing here. Go to the home deck section. So if you have exhausted the garment areas,
Yes. Go
to
there.
home deck and see what they have there. Yeah,
you
don't
need-
rule it out.
If you need special
Or trim, whatever.
the beaded fringe, okay,
Yeah.
which I always, it's
The
so
other-
expensive.
yeah, the other
It's
thing I
so,
might-
no, and I want to talk, let me
Yeah.
just talk about beaded fringe, okay? It is so beautiful, and it is like $30 a yard, and it is just
It's like putting chandeliers
It is-
on the edge of your
pillow or whatever,
your
and I
drapes
just,
or something.
yeah, when I don't have kids and, that will like chew on things and swallow them and stuff like that, I'm going to put beaded fringe all over my house
Okay.
because I just think it's beautiful.
Another thing you're going to find there that we haven't talked about is like pillow forms, which
Oh.
is
And foam.
foam. And it might be a foam pillow or just foam that you can
Yep.
cut up.
Yep.
Let's talk about how I cut that foam up. Electric knife.
Hey, that's expensive.
I ordered that foam online.
So did you find it was cheaper online?
Better quality and a lot less expensive.
Okay.
I paid like $100 for the foam I needed, and at the big Joann's store here, it was going to be over $300, and I didn't even like the quality.
Yeah.
So online might be
Okay, and
Where
I
you
don't
go
know
for that.
why I thought I knew what foam should cost or something. I don't
may
know.
have told you that when I was
you
looking. I
when
don't
you
know.
start to look at it and you're surprised, just be like, "Oh, Mallory was surprised too." Okay.
Okay.
It just gets a little surprising.
So a jewel for this particular podcast, right?
I'm ready.
Okay. So say you want a pillow form that's 20 by 20, but you wanted a feather pillow form that was 20 by 20.
Don't
or
whisper about the
whatever.
jewel.
Right? Okay, so you want a pillow form. They don't have the right size. You want a pillow form that is 20 by 20, say, or 22 by 22. Excuse me. And they don't have it. What you do is you go to a big box store that sells bed pillows and you cut it down.
Boom.
Boom.
Get your surgery.
Okay. When I told somebody this, they went crazy. They made so many pillows. They and you get to pick. Do you
Your
want
filling.
Do you want? Yeah.
Yeah, you're
and firm, not firm, whatever, feathers, hypoallergenic.
Okay,
all
what
that stuff.
are they putting? I'm sure we'll get some emails. What are they putting in like bed stuff to like make it cold? Like, I'm not
I don't think I believe it.
okay.
But anyway,
I'm not like super crunchy, but I'm like I'm suspicious. I bet that's not going to be able to be like sold in California or something.
I don't know. I think it's very weird. I'm not sure that fabric can be a temperature.
Well,
other than the ambient temperature around
things
it.
that have a lot of water in them can be cooler.
Yeah.
So do these fillings have is it like gel that stays cooler?
But
that's why cool as a cucumber because
Right.
cucumbers are full of water, right? Okay, so I don't know. Anyway, it creeps me out a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. They smell weird too. They smell weird. Okay, well, thank you so much for listening. That's our little dive. We just want you to know there's a wide range of home deck fabrics.
And there's a home deck department.
And there's a home deck department.
And if you're searching for home deck fabric online, you search for home deck fabric.
Right. And it's going to guide you. You're going to say, oh, I'm doing draperies.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm doing upholstery. I need drapery lining. Right. I need beaded fringe because I want to make this $70
If you're looking online,
pillow.
it often will say drapery weight, or something like that.
Yeah.
Upholstery weight, drapery weight.
So there is a reason to go shop home deck when you're doing home deck.
Absolutely.
And then there's a reason to go there when you're doing other things because they might have something you need, okay? So, yeah, in case you were thinking we were going to give you an exhaustive list of every single type of home deck fabric there is, that's not what's going on
We
here.
can't because it changes now constantly.
All right, everybody. Well, thank you for listening. You can get to us on Instagram. We're at SoHereCom, and you can email me at Mallory@SoHere.com. Take it away, ZD.
So long and so happy.
Thanks for listening to Sewing Out Loud. For even more expert sewing advice, visit sewhere.com.